What do you think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's future is in Jim Schwartz's defense?
I think he can thrive, especially if we get better at defensive tackle and he doesn't have to worry about, running into guards as much. I think he could thrive. Look, a lot of what's made of his instincts is about comfort, right? When we talk about a linebacker's instincts and we talk about anybody's instincts, is their comfort in the situation and what they're being asked to do, and their ability to do that. And JOK, he had a lot of comfort early on in his career, but just kind of lost it. I think they're going to be asking him to do some stuff. It's going to be more stable. It's going to be a lot more clear. And he'll be more comfortable. He'll be much better.
Yeah, whenever I heard them talking about paring down the menu and getting them to play fast, it's like, don't complicate defense. It's like, defined roles, go find the ball, go tackle the guy with the ball. That's as difficult as it needs to be.
Yeah, and it's like they played him a lot at will linebacker, right? So it's not like he had like a ton of responsibility or moved around a lot. And sometimes with players, like if you don't give them something that they feel like it is a challenge, they're not going to play up to their ability, right? And I think JOK probably wanted to be challenged more. He probably wanted to cover more athletic tight ends. He probably wanted to be deep middle on some Tampa 2 looks and want to have to carry guys up the middle of the seam and do things that he knows he's good at that are very difficult to do, but he wasn't really asked to do that. He was kind of being used like anybody else. And again, these players are just like us. And we want to be challenged at our job so we can be the best version of ourselves. And I think he wanted to be challenged too, and I just don't think he found that challenge.
Yeah, the other thing is I think he was another guy. They asked him to do some things that weren't his strengths, and I think that was the case for a couple of the cornerbacks as well. Denzel Ward comes to mind. Put guys in position to be successful, and they'll want to play hard.
Yeah, it's really that simple. Like, you just got to figure out, hey, what do the very talented players on this roster do well? Okay, let's have them do that. I think Bill Belichick has the quote that defines football essentially, which is football is a very simple game made complicated by very dumb men. Right, which is to say, we make this a lot more difficult on ourselves, right? Because you got these stringent rules and these defenses that we want teams and guys to fit in, and we don't want to give any leeway. Where Bill Belichick, the way he runs his system is, hey, you're good at these two things. You're going to do these two things. Okay, you're going to do these two things, right? You notice the reason why Belichick players, they're not great in free agency, or there's not a great track record of success with them in free agency, is because guys take them from New England and say, hey, you are good at these two things. Let me have you do these 8 things. And that don't work because he was good at 2 things, Bill's good at figuring out what you can do, how you can move well, and then putting you in position to do those things that you do well. That's what a good coach does. And there's a lot of players who do a lot of things well on this defense. He's got to put them in the right position to do those things well. I
agree. That's my new definition of coaching. Find out what a player does well and ask him to do it. That's from now on. That is our definition of coaching on Sports4CLE.